So welcome to this lecture, everyone. So today's lecture will be on cloning of a server. How to clone a server so that we can make a copy of that server, without installing a Linux machine again and again. So for example, I have this server with me right now. Which is Hyderabad DC. Okay, and I want another server, for example. So what we do generally, we go to file, new virtual machine, typical recommended, next. The Linux enterprise is detected, and we will give another server with the name called Delhi data center, Delhi DC, and we'll browse the location and we will start the installation. No, you no need to do that actually. You no need to do that. That is nothing but you're doing another Linux installation. You're doing Linux installation again. You no need to do that. So instead of that, we can clone this entire server. And create a new server. Okay, I'll explain you how. But before that, we need to make sure that the power, the server is powered off. Server is shut down. Once we shut down the server, only we can do it. Point number one to be noted. Point number two, what is the IP address of this server? The IP address of Hyderabad DC is 192.168.1.102. 102. So when I clone this server as a copy, as a duplicate copy, how it will be cloned? It will be cloned with the same settings. Which means the same IP address. Which will be with the same IP address, right? So after the clone is completed, we can change the IP address. That is very simple. Instead of installing the Linux again and again and again and again, right? So how to clone a server, I'll explain you, and pre-steps and post-steps. Pre-steps is nothing but just power off the server. To clone a server, the server should be powered off. For sure, the server should be powered off. And then do a right click, go to manage, click on clone, click next. The current state of virtual machine, yes, click next. Create a linked clone, create a full clone, create a full clone. Okay, click next. See, it is asking you the server name. Just give it as Dell DC, which is Delhi data center, for example. You can keep it as Hyderabad data center on your machine because you guys don't have a Hyderabad data center in your machine. That's your wish. The name can be anything. As I already have HYD and Mumbai, I'm keeping a Delhi data center. Okay, and browse again. Go to the location where you want to store this server. I want to store in E drive because I have a good amount of space in D drive also. So let me store it in D drive. In D drive, what I will do, I'll make a new folder with the name called Dell DC, which means Delhi data center, right? And click OK. So here my server is being stored. Click on finish. That's it. Cloning is started. How this server is, exactly the same copy will be created as a clone in this. The server will be copied into the same IP address. With the same IP address, it will be copied to the next drive. That's it. There is nothing more complicated or rocket and science in this. It's very simple. Okay, it's nothing but you are making a copy of the entire server. Generally, we do a copy of database from one server to another server, right? One server to another server. We do a database copy from Mumbai server to Hyderabad server. We do a database cloning. In the same way, here what we are doing, we are cloning the entire server itself. The server is being cloned as a copy. It is created as a copy into another drive or another location. And we can use that server for our day-to-day requirement purpose. But the server IP address should not be the same. The server IP address of this HYD DC is 192.168.1.102. Now, as the cloning is in progress, once the cloning is completed, if you check the IP address of Delhi DC also, the one which you are creating right now, that server IP address also will be the same only, 192.168.1.102. but it should not be the same. So what you have to do, instead of doing the entire Linux installation once again, you clone the server to a different location. You clone the server, and after cloning, just turn on the power on the server and change the IP address. That is a simple solution. So just wait for 5 minutes. The cloning will be completed. Once the cloning is completed, I will explain you how to change the IP address of the server. So what is your question? Any questions?
Yes, sir. Here we are copying server, no, sir.
Yes.
What about databases present in that server? Will they also get copied, or
the
only server is getting copied?
The entire state of the server will be copied. Whatever the state this server is in, which means if there is any Oracle home, yes, the Oracle home will also be, whatever the entire state of the server, how the state is, the current position of the server will be copied. Means it will copy the databases, it will copy the Oracle home, it will copy the entire server to server. Complete server will be copied. How is the current situation of the server? The current situation of server is, it is having mount points. How many mount points? 5 mount points. Okay. It is having Oracle home. It is having databases. It is having softwares / stage softwares are there. Okay. And /U01 Oracle home is there. /prod databases are there. The entire stage, the entire state, what is the current state of this machine? That state will be entirely copied to the different location. It's just a copy that we are doing. So the entire, all the things, whatever the components are there inside this server, everything will be copied. I answered your question?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Any other question? Any other question? I believe I'm making sense, right? So see, that's what I'm telling you. If you want to, if you have to create another server using new virtual machine, what you have to do, you have to install the Linux machine with a partition of 5 different mount points, and after the Linux is completed, you have to copy the software, Oracle software, and after the Oracle software is copied, you have to again install the Oracle software installation. You have to do all these things, right? Instead of that, you want another server, right? So simply clone the server. Everything will be automatically copied. Same mount points, same databases, okay, same softwares, same Oracle home, okay, everything will be copied. Yeah, what was your question, Mohan?
Only 4 GB RAM is present in my laptop.
Okay.
So this cloning will not work, I think, because I have to give for my Windows.
No. Who said the cloning will not work? Cloning will definitely work. How much is the server memory that you have given to the first server, the Mumbai DC server? 2 GB, right? 2 GB. So you are powering the power. It is powered off, which means 2 GB is not in use. So you are cloning. So when you are cloning, what happening? Another copy of this 2 GB is coming. So 2 GB plus 2 GB, which is 4 GB, which means your VMware is using 4 GB. So what you have to do, once the clone is completed, you can change this 2 GB to 1 GB. Okay. You got my point?
Yeah, now I got it.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so the cloning is it came to an end. So if you are doing complete Linux installation again, how much time it will take? At least 2.5 hours. And after that, you have to install the software again 1 hour. So instead of 3 hours, we are doing it in 10 minutes. We are doing in 5 minutes actually. 5 to 10 minutes we are completing the clone. Okay, this is so easier than that. And again, in the real time, will the VMware server cloning happens in the same methodology that I have shown you right now? I mean, you guys might think, is there some other process to clone a server in real time? No, the same process. Process is same. Just power of the server, right click and clone the server. Simple. Whatever the steps that I'm doing right now, the same steps is being executed in the real time also to clone a server. But this is not a DBA job. Okay, this is a job of a VM team, VMware or the server team or the backup team to do all these kind of things. But here we are doing for our practice purpose. We need another server, right? To practice, we need minimum 2 servers to clone a database from one server to another server, or to migrate a database from one server to another server, or to maintain one server as primary and second server as a standby. We need 2 servers. So in order to maintain the second server, you don't have to install the entire Linux, install the Oracle home, create databases. No, you don't need to do that. You just do the clone of the server, just power off the server and clone the server. It completes in 5 minutes. That's it. It is easy to do rather than doing all the steps manually again and again. And as I said, like for your information, in the real time also the same steps will be followed. If I need one more server, the same steps can be followed. Nothing harm in that. It's just that, we need to give the inputs. Where is the storage located and where exactly the server has to be stored. That's it. Other than that, nothing is rocket and science in this. Okay. Now, what was your question?
Sir, after cloning, can we delete all old databases in new server?
That is your wish. If you don't need those databases, you can delete. If you want those databases, you can keep it. It's based on the requirement. So if you have a requirement of keeping those databases alive, you can keep them alive. You don't need to drop those databases or delete the databases. If you don't want the databases, it's unnecessary waste of space in /prod. It is unnecessary waste of usage. If you think, you can just go with the delete of the databases. Anyways, the deletion of the databases, how to delete a database. I will show you. I did not show you. I will show you how to delete a database. Then only you go ahead and do it. It's not like, just RM, go to the prod, mount point and do RM. That is not a deletion. If you do with the RM command, that is not a deletion. There's a deletion process of a database where we have to delete the database with the help of DBCA only. I'll show you how to delete a database. Because there is something called decommission. In the real time, we use this word called decommission. Decommissioning a database. What do you mean by decommissioning? Means the database we don't want the database for at any cost. I mean to say, like, anymore. We don't want the database anymore. So there is some database name XYZ. I don't want the database. The database no longer the database is with my company. Okay, the client is gone from my company, so I don't want that database in my company. So what we do is we generally shut down the database first. Shut down the database for how many days? We shut down the database and keep the database in shutdown state only for about say 15 to 20 days. It will be in shutdown state only. We will monitor if there is any user complaints to the database. Still any user is connecting to the database or not. If there are no user complaints in those 15 days, which means no user is connecting to the database. If some user is connecting to the database is shut down, so user will definitely complain. Hey, I'm not able to access the database. Can you please bring the database online? User will complain, right? So what we do is we generally shut down the database for 15 to 20 days. We see that there is no user is complaining about the database connections. Then we come to a conclusion that yes, no user is connecting to the database. Then we will go ahead and delete the database. This deletion is called decommissioning. In the real time, we call it as decommissioning a database. Am I making sense? Everyone understood?
Yes, sir, understood.
What about other people? The question is, yeah, everyone understood?
Yes.
Okay, so let's wait for this cloning to be completed. Once this cloning is completed, what we have to do? We have to change the IP address of the new server. That is main task. Okay, So we see that, full clone is completed. You can just close this. Once you close this, you are able to see the server here. See, the server is there. Server is here, right? With the same configurations. With the same configuration. So you just power on. You just power on the server. You just power on the server. Okay. See, the server is coming on with the same configurations. Again, there is no change in the configurations. Whatever the configurations are there in this server, the same configurations are cloned to this server. Whatever the stage is this server is in, the same stage this server is also in the same state, including the storage, RAM, number of CPUs, everything, same structure. It is cloned. Okay. So once we power on the server, we will see what is the IP address of this server. Because what is the IP address of this server from which we have cloned? The IP address of this server is 192.168.1.102, which is Hyderabad DC. So what will be the IP address of this server? The same. It will be the same. But it should not be the same. As you have cloned the server, the IP address is also copied as the same IP address. But in the real time, two servers will not have the same IP address. Every server will have a different IP address. Okay. So what we have to do, we have to just change the IP address. That's it. Change the IP address and use that server for our day-to-day usage. It's very simple. Okay. So once the server is turned on completely, then we will go ahead and see how to change the IP address of the server. Right. So see, it is telling Hyderabad DC only. Still, it is telling Hyderabad DC. I'll show you. Root. Login as root. Welcome. Okay. Okay. So when you log in as root and you open the terminal, okay. What are you able to see? You're able to see Hyderabad DC. Actually, I have given a name called Delhi DC, right? Delhi DC. But why it is coming Hyderabad DC? Because it is cloned. It is cloned from Hyderabad DC. The name is still did not change. We have to change it manually, and we have to see if config. See, what is the IP address of this server? IP address of the server should be 192.168.1.102. 102, right? 102. But okay, you can check ping 192, sorry, 192.168.1.102, or you can ping HYDDC, right? See, you're able to get the reply. You're able to get the reply for HYDDC. But HYDDC is power off, right? HYDDC is power off, but you are getting the reply. So this server is still behaving like HYDDC. We have to change that. Okay, this server is still behaving like Hyderabad data center with 192.168.1.102 IP address and everything. And the name is also Hyderabad DC. We have to change that. How to change the IP address and the name? The command is neat, N-E-A-T, neat, enter. See, this is ETH01, right? ETH01. So what you do, we double click this. See, the IP address is 192.168.1.102, right? You change this to 103. In my case, I am changing this to 103. If you are cloning a server from 101, you can change to 102. I am cloning, I have cloned the server from 102. So I am changing this to 103. 103. Just click OK and activate. That's it. Activate. Okay. If it is not working, what you do? Simply delete this. Delete this and create a new one. New Ethernet connection. Forward. ETH0. Okay. Forward. Statically assign the IP address 192.168.1.103 and subnet is 255.255.255.0. Forward, apply and activate. Yes, that's it. It will be activated. Yes, activated. IP address is changed to 192.168.1.103. Okay, IP address is completed. Now name of the server should be changed from Hyderabad DC to Delhi DC, right? Where can you change the name? In DNS. DNS. Go to DNS and change the name to Delhi DC. Change the name to Delhi DC and apply. How to apply? File, save. That's it. Close it. Now one time you have to log out and log in. One time you have to log out, and then log in back. It will become like a new server. It will behave like a new server. It is no more it is related to Hyderabad data center now. Login as root and welcome. Now it has become a new server. You see what is the difference? See, it is giving Delhi data center. And if you check ifconfig, the IP address of the server is 192.168.1.103. And then what is the IP address of this server? 192.168.1.102. So both are two different servers now. You have Oracle Home ready. Now you no need to install Linux. Linux is ready. You have your Oracle Home ready. U01 app or Oracle product 11.1.0 db_1. See, your Oracle Home is ready. Your mount points are ready. Okay, your mount points are ready. Your database is ready. cd/prod. See, city database is there. ICIC database. If you don't want this database, you can delete. I'll let you know how to delete or how to decommission a database in the later sessions. But this is how you will clone a VMware server. You will clone a server in VMware from one server to another server and change the IP address and settings of this machine so that this machine will become a new machine with a new IP address. And once your settings is completed, just if you have any work, you can continue your work. If you don't have anything, INIT 0 shut down. It is shutting down, and from the next time when it is coming up, it will not show Hyderabad DC. It will show Delhi DC when it is shutting down and coming back. Okay, this is the session to perform. Okay, a clone of a server inside the VMware from one server to another server. How to clone a server. This is all about a session how to clone a server. Thank you everyone for joining. Hope everyone understood the session.